again was the issue that happened in Parliament last week, where a supplementary budget of 3.5 trillion was passed in just one day. We understand MPs were not allowed to actually discuss it. It was passed hurriedly. On top of that, that is not money that was in the treasury. That is money that is going to be borrowed locally. When money is borrowed locally, it means that those are going to be commercial loans. Commercial loans are loans that in most cases you pay, the conditions are, you pay in a shorter period, and the interest rates are high. So that is going to affect the economy. That as we are paying already, we have a very bad debt, which is more than 100 trillion. And now we are adding on another debt that is expensive, both for Ugandans to pay and even affects an economy. Because now to go and pick a loan in the bank, it will be very expensive because you cannot compete with government. And then when you look at the reasons why they picked it, there was this State House money, defense money, State House 400 something, defense 100 billion. They even claim, actually the one of State House is classified. And then you ask, what is classified in the home of Mr. Museveni? Because in anybody's home, what would you call classified are what we would call like the underwears. That is what people do not want to see. Is there classified in food, classified in clothes, or the rest? Then you see money in defense. To go and there is this money that has been put in defense to go and repair aircrafts, 100 billion. Then there is money that is put on the supervision of Ruwa Hospital, where you all know journalists and MPs are not supposed to go there. Who is going to supervise? We are going to borrow money to give to singers, not to develop art, to give to singers. We are going to borrow money for goat breeding, 12 billion. We are going to borrow money for feeding prisoners. Yet we all know prison has farms. And the biggest farms, 79 billion. We are even borrowing money to pay a debt to Bank of Uganda. Who borrows from Bank of Uganda? When did Bank of Uganda become a lender? So all of those monies that we are seeing is meant to be chiffoned, is meant to be eaten by a few hyenas who are in government. We therefore urge Mr. Museveni, when you need a supplementary like this, I think going forward we should not have a budget so all the money is be put in his State House and he gives the money to whoever he wants. You do not see money as supplementary trickling down to the common man. Because classified money in the State House is not defined. Money which they claim to go to defense is money that goes to buy machines and the rest. Money never goes in the pockets of our people. The supervision of Rubowa, that is money given to Pineti. That Pineti, we do not know how that supervision will be done. Is it to look at? Is it to walk around? Or to eat? So we are asking members of parliament to die a little for Uganda. This business of being forced to pass these kind of loans, and then you come out tell people of Uganda that we are forced, then you don't qualify to be MPs. Because you have the mandate of the people, you rather not sit in that committee and then you say, this budget was moved without the consent of the people of Uganda. And we expect in sober countries, such a supplementary budget would cause fire. But because Ugandans seem not to care and only waiting for God to intercede, have decided to keep quiet when the rope is put in their neck, and we who try to fight, we shall die in the same situation like those who keep quiet. I want to inform the country that on the 9th of December, we started our party structural grassroots elections, and basically we are more interested in the election of the village and the parish. We spared the 9th to the 23rd, which is about 2 weeks, to make sure that we have structures at that level. As everybody must be aware, those are the major, or the most important structures of any political organization. We want to be felt in every corner of this country. That is why we are using all this time, because since we are not the state and do not have enough manpower to do the job at once, so we are doing it in piecemeal. So we have sent most of our leaders in the countryside, including our electoral commission chief in the countryside, to make sure that that work is done thoroughly. In the past, you would have hanging structures, but we believe that if we just succeed at the village and the parish level, we believe as a party we shall have had a mass party that can eventually provide or cause the change we work for. So we call upon all our leaders to engage in this process. Those who have not accessed the materials, try to speak with your coordinators and make sure that these elections are carried out. The reason why in this process we have 3 weekends, because we believe many of our people are breadwinners in their families who may be on their duty stations during the course of the weeks. So that's why we had that weekend, we have the next weekend and the last weekend to make sure, and the third weekend of the 23rd, to make sure that we have elections, we have proper structure. So take your time, do the best job, make sure that we are able to put up a front of leadership that can help give us change as we move towards the 15th of March 2024, when we shall have the national elections. After that one, we shall be trying to do an audit. I believe after the 23rd, the EC boss will come here to give you a report, a full, complete report of how those elections will have taken place. I have been asked to speak about the judiciary. You must be aware that over the weekend, the social media was full of letters that are coming from the judiciary showing conflicts between Justice Mubiru and the principal judge. It is a very disturbing situation where you see a letter purportedly to be coming from the principal judge writing to a judge to record a judgment. In a country where we've been talking about state capture, you are all aware that the executive is in the hands of Mr. Museveni. Parliament has been made a rubber stamp and a walking stick of the same. So there have always been under the carpet noise that even the judiciary is not independent. It first came out when Justice George Kanyehamba told the nation, even wrote in his book, that during the judgments of 2001 and 2006, the judges of the Supreme Court were compromised to make judgments that are contrary to what actually they believed was the right decision. In the recent past, we have had cases of Justice Chisache of the Supreme Court having issues with Chief Justice. That matter was even filed in court. We are waiting for that case to start, which will be a very funny case where Chief Justice is facing the judges where he's a pretender. So the way this is unfolding, it is telling you that there is a complete program of the capital of the state that now Ugandans must cry for themselves. That letter showed a sad day to this country, showed a regression of this country, a degeneration to a backward state, and the death of civilization and democracy in this country. Because the judiciary is a pillar of justice, is a pillar of democracy. So when the judiciary is captured and judges cannot make decisions, and decisions are actually, because we've always heard where we are told informally that such and such a judgment was written somewhere. But now if a letter is seen and moves around to say that a principal judge is asking a judge to record a judgment, that tells you that mob justice will be the only way of justice. So we call upon the people of Uganda that it is time for us to rise up and stop this nonsense.